Hi everyone, Varshini here. Welcome to this week's vlog about my trip to the Sunshine Coast. So the Sunshine Coast is a 180-kilometer stretch of paradise which is on the southwest of British Columbia, and fun fact, it's actually only accessible by ferry, plane or boat. Well, of course you can swim there, but that's besides the point. So I had a chance to spend 2 glorious days here exploring all around, and I'm really looking forward to sharing that in this vlog. So before we jump into the vlog, I just wanted to mention that I've included our budget, our itinerary, and like a helpful document that includes all of these, so you can download it and use it for your own trip. So stay tuned for that. Let's get started.
This is Gibson's Landing, about 10 minutes from Langdale, the ferry terminal at Sunshine Coast. Gibson's is a quaint little town with lots of wildflowers, small shops, and a refreshing sea breeze all around. We walked by Molly's Reach. So this is it was a fictional restaurant in a TV show that ran in Canada for 19 years, The Beachcombers, and now is a real restaurant. And just look at these views. We were there on a clear sunny day and the views were absolutely gorgeous. There are so many restaurants around with ocean facing patios for a chill lunch or dinner, and the vibe was just amazing. After checking out the pier, these are my friends that I went with. After that, we headed to the Gibson's Artists Market, which is opposite the Wine Garden Park. And we saw a lot of local art that was just adorable, and I especially loved the sunflowers. And this was glass art, I think. Anyway, after that, a couple of us were just walking around, checking everything out, and just enjoying the nice sunny weather. I saw this weird quote by this Indian philosopher who I didn't even know existed, so that was a moment. And another thing about the Sunshine Coast, so I don't know if we were late to everything, but I could not find one magnet. Anyway, this was Bonnybrook Beach. We wanted to check it out on the way to Skookumchuck and just see how clear the water is, and it was so calming and so serene. We got up on the pier and walked by. Oh, I was pointing at the where our Airbnb would be. That was Seychelles. And this is the pier. There were people fishing. There was a very cute doggy that was running around. We took some photos and just took in all the views. I think these people were fishing for crabs because I saw them put the crab cage thingy in. So, but before they could take it out, we had to leave. So this is us on the way to Skookumchuck Narrows. And the drive wasn't as amazing because the roads weren't right by the ocean as you would expect, because that's what Google Maps showed, but there were a lot of trees around. It was still very beautiful, but a typical BC drive, not really Highway 1 in California vibes. This is Skookumchuck Narrows Provincial Park. This is a very nice 4-kilometer walk to go see the whirlpools, or where the viewpoint was to view the whirlpools. The trail was very well developed, very clean with minimal elevation change, and it takes about an hour because it's 4 kilometers. So we reached there with 10 minutes to spare, and the whirlpools were just starting. So we were at the north point. So the whirlpools are actually one of the greatest natural spectacles in British Columbia, and they occur in the Skookumchuck Narrows. So twice every day during high tide and low tide, the flow of saltwater switches. And because of the switch, and there is like a water elevation change of up to 9 feet, these whirlpools occur, and they are, I guess, one of the greatest whitewater phenomenons as well, which is what they refer to the rapids. So these rapids are not only famous to view, but apparently kayakers and divers also go in and enjoy these extreme force. Like, the camera does no justice. The waters were roaring, and it was super majestic. So unfortunately, the day we went, we didn't go to see any kayakers or divers. So we are now heading to the second viewpoint, which is where the kayakers and divers go into the water, and we can see big waves, and we saw some mini whirlpools as well. So this is our walk back after viewing all the whirlpools. So at this point we are starving, and we walked by this lake called the Brown Lake, which, surprise surprise, wasn't brown. I heard somebody say it was brown, like someone in the crowd. So I was really excited, but it wasn't. Anyway, so we stopped at this bakery that was at the trailhead and just grabbed something to drink and some snacks to nibble on before we headed out. And oh, this was like a museum opposite the parking lot with some old goodies and some postcards and other stuff to buy. And it was the old I guess electronics and everything. They were quite cute and, you know, a bit grounding, because see how far we've come. And it was a very cute place. Must visit, I wouldn't say that, but it's a cute place. Anyway, so we stopped for lunch at this Mexican place in Madeira Park. I'm not gonna pronounce it, but anyway, the food was really good. It gobbled it all in. I had no time to film. So then we stopped at Smuggler Cove. So the viewpoint was, I would say, 8 minutes from the car, and it was a, you know, a nice walk through the forest after we just stuffed ourselves with food. And yeah, same as all over BC, you know, except there was no elevation, which was surprising. And then, so this is the viewpoint, which is really pretty, but the mosquitoes were big and started, like, you know, biting us all over. So we just left, and we ended up in Ruby Lake. So we thought we could go for a swim. So Ruby Lake is actually just a 5-minute walk from the parking lot. I mean, you can change behind a tree, whatever. That's what we all did. And we got into the water and started playing. The water was so warm, and honestly, this is one of my best memories of the trip. Like, it was so much fun. We were just playing around, swimming in the water, just lounging there for, like, I think we were there for 2.5 hours. Not enough time. I would have spent the whole day there. I'm a water baby. Yeah, if you ever go to Sunshine Coast, you must go swim in this lake. It's so nice. So living in Vancouver, there aren't many lakes around, but even the small ones that are around, they are quite cold because they're all glacier fed. And even when we go on hikes, all the lakes we go to, most of them at least, are very cold. So this was very refreshing, a very nice change of pace. And yeah, overall super exciting. Also the water is nice and clear, and there are some stones, but there's also sand and it's not hard to walk on. We headed out to the Airbnb after that, made some noodles, some corn, and just chatted the night away. And yeah, showered, chilled. And this was the next day. We had breakfast and we left the Airbnb and we ended up at the Cliff Gilker Park. We just wanted to walk around, and I'm also a sucker for waterfalls, so I like to go check it out. And also the water was quite cold. And by this day it was super gloomy, and it was just raining, drizzling all the time. So we donned our raincoats and started walking around the park. And it was a pretty nice walk, you know. It was a nice, fun way to start the morning. And this is what I was wearing. Oh my god, I look like a potato. That's besides the point. Oh, I saw this board and we thought we'll see some bears, but we didn't end up seeing. And we saw babbling brooks, we saw these cute bridges, and honestly, it's very cute. It was super cute. Reminded me a little bit of Flint Canyon. And see, here's another waterfall. Again, super cute. I don't know why I like waterfalls. They're just really pretty and they're calming. And yeah, so we finished our walk, and I think we were there for an hour, and then we headed to Roberts Creek Pier. So this place, the mandala here, is really popular, and it was drawn to represent Sunshine Coast's I guess commitment to love, to community, and to art, which is very cool. And then we started walking on the pier, and it was so serene, so calm. And if it could look this beautiful on a gloomy day, just imagine what it would look like on a sunny day. And I was just, anytime I look into the ocean, I'm just hoping to see a whale. we didn't do that. I saw an otter though, which was nice. And then we ended up going to Gumboot Cafe just to grab some snacks before lunch. We were hungry here. And we ended up eating a lot of snacks before we realized the Gumboot restaurant was right beside. And we went there to have like a light lunch. And this was a very cute, there was a cute shop. Restaurant was in the shop is what I should say, with a lot of, local jams, chili oils, popcorn and whatnot. And of course, local and artisan goods. So it was quite expensive. And then we wanted to check out the Soames Hill viewpoint. So we went to the park and we started our walk/hike. So this place was a little bit of a walk, and then you climb staircases. I don't know how many steps. So you climb this big staircase, and then on top there is some elevation gain, I think probably 50-ish meters or 100 meters maybe. And then you go see the viewpoint. So this is what we thought our viewpoint was, but turns out we were really wrong. So we headed back up to see another viewpoint, and that wasn't the one again. So we saw a bunch of people heading the other way, so we started walking there as well, trying to see if we could find the other viewpoint. So this was the elevation gain I was talking about, and this was the viewpoint. It was really pretty, and again, like I said, camera does no justice. If it can be this pretty on a cloudy day, just imagine what it would look like on a nice sunny day. So we just sat here, enjoyed it, and then went down. We were walking out of the forest, and there were apparently bobcats that might jump around, so I was just on the watch for them. And we got to our car and we headed to dinner. Our plan was to go to Persephone Brewing and then just chill. Oh, we stopped in Gibson's Landing for ice cream in the middle. So this place, we saw this place when we actually came in, and they said that it's very nice and the ice creams are amazing. And you know what, I looked at everything and suddenly the Ferrero Rocher was speaking to me, so I got that, and that is apparently their most popular ice cream, and everybody else ended up getting that as well. So we were all eating and just taking in the trip and unwinding. So these are all the cute shops, and I think this was 5:30, 6 p.m. and everything was closed. Like I said, I was trying to find a magnet and I couldn't find one, so I have no magnets from Sunshine Coast now. But anyway, the art was really pretty. Like, I didn't want to this is the best filming I could do. They had a lot of very expensive looking places, so I won't be surprised if that pillow there was $200. Anyway, this was apparently the water from the aquifer, which was providing the water to Sunshine Coast, so that was very cool. We ended up going to Persephone Brewing because it's really popular, and we thought we'll spend the evening here. And it was a very nice small town vibey place. That's the best way I could describe it. So they had a lot of cute t-shirts, a lot of good merch, and it was a very welcoming place. They also had a big set of games, like board games that we could sit and play, so that was fun. Again, I'm a sucker for board games, but they had no food and we were really hungry, so we just headed back to Gibson's Landing to see if we can get to one of the patio restaurants there. Most of the restaurants, like, we needed reservations and they were fully packed, so I saw this place Lunitas, which is nice, but turns out Lunitas again needed a reservation and we had to wait an hour and a half. So I was like, you know what, it's fine. Then to Grandma's Pub, which was right by the pier, and it was downstairs as well, so we had to climb down. And there were a lot of families here. There was sports all around, so it was more like a sports bar vibe. Then we got some food and just chatted the night away. And I'm vegetarian, so they didn't have many vegetarian options. So I ended up going to Lunita's and getting this corn because I wasn't that hungry. And this was us waiting at the ferry terminal. So Sunshine Coast is just 40 minutes away from Vancouver, which is amazing.
So here is the budget breakdown. So one advantage I would say of going to the Sunshine Coast is that you only pay for the ferry one way. Because we were 5 of us and we took a car, our individual expense split equally was $23 or $22 and a cent, if I'm right. And gas was again $22 and 52 cents for the whole weekend. Accommodation wise, so even though we booked the trip in advance, we couldn't find any campgrounds or any other cheaper accommodation, so it ended up coming to about $100 a head on when we booked it on Airbnb. And with respect to food, as you had seen, the day we left, we all ate at home or brought some food. We had gotten snacks for the trip. We had bought groceries for the dinner and the day after's breakfast. And we also ate out quite a bit. So together, it was actually, for me, it was $38. Again, I didn't eat that much, and I'm also vegetarian, so I didn't eat any meat. So it came up to this, but again, I would say give or take $50-$60 depending on how many meals you eat at home or whether you eat outside, and that's as per your needs. But yeah, this is the budget breakdown, and I hope you find it helpful. So total our trip to the Sunshine Coast was $179. Most of it, like $100 of it, was just the accommodation. So even if you're not able to find cheaper accommodation, I would highly urge you to consider Sunshine Coast as a travel destination, because swimming in Ruby Lake was one of the best memories of summer I have, having been in Vancouver for 4 years. So thank you for joining me today, and I'm looking forward to sharing more content with you all. Next up is this beginner, absolute newbies camping trip. It was an overnight camping trip, but it was still a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to share that with you all. Thank you for joining me today, and have a great week.